Welcome back to Man vs Slug. This week what I really want to do is get the pumpkins in the ground, in the top bed, because they are looking really sad for themselves, which means I'm going to have to make a bit of space, have to do some harvesting. So, what are we going to do first? Harvest the potatoes from the lower raised bed.
Man versus Slug.
Time to find out if our Australian relatives have done their job and stuck potatoes to the roots that stick out down into Australia. The no-dig gardening, our aim is just to pull them up gently. Ooh, snail. Bye-bye. Did that work? No. Oh, this is quite cool. Let me show you this before I pull it. Those appear to be potato seeds. They look like tomatoes. I thought the plant had got utterly confused. I'd never seen potato seeds before. That's really interesting, isn't it? What have we got going on here? I did feel some popping off. I'm hoping all the big ones just popped off because got a lot of plant here, not a lot of potato. Some good news! A potato! Well, after the disappointment of pulling up all the potato plants and getting barely anything, now it's time to start rummaging. I've already seen there's one potato there. I think they just all snapped off. Looking like we might get something after all. So I found quite a few potatoes now just rummaging around, but the weird thing is we have been finding more potatoes like that. Okay, I faked that one. But underneath the broad beans, it seems like they just like the shade a little bit. So we've been really having to rummage around the roots of the broad beans to find potatoes, whereas out here, which you can't see, further away from the broad beans, it's been a little bit more thin on the ground. Not the best harvest of potatoes we've ever had. The Australians are obviously being a little bit on the lazy side, but we've got a good handful there. Some quite decent size, so yeah, I'll maybe do a couple of meals. So these broad beans are looking pretty good as well, so I'm going to harvest those, but still quite a lot of black fly in here, so I'm going to get rid of some of the black fly first. Found this to be quite an effective way of blasting black fly off the plants. Got a reasonable sized crop of broad beans there. Should do one meal once I think we've taken all the skins and pods off and the like. I've left the broad bean plants themselves in the ground because there's just a lot of sort of partly grown broad beans like these ones, or maybe around near the top. There's just a few little ones that I'd like to give time to mature. I guess I could have that one off. But yeah, we'll leave them in for a little bit longer and see if we get a few more. So as I said at the beginning of this episode, the reason I want to clear out the raised beds is because I want to get these pumpkins in the ground. They're looking so anemic. I think they're just running out of nutrients in their little pots. They need to go in the ground. Now, I really want to be planting them in this top raised bed because it gives them more space to grow out into the garden and up into the tree. And obviously, I've just been clearing out the lower raised bed. But the perpetual spinach in this top raised bed's been doing really well at one end of it, and then down this end it's just being stripped away. Likewise, the runner beans at that end of the raised bed are doing really well, and at this end they're just being stripped away continually. And I think that just the shade from this plum tree is giving the slugs somewhere to shelter. So I think these pumpkins, well, they're going to have to take their chance, aren't they? They're either going to sit here and go yellow and die slowly in a pot, or we're going to have to put them in the ground and going to have to chance their luck with the slugs. Try and dig straight down. Here, go on, pop it in the ground. No, not in the pot.
Look at that weed. Oh.
That's why they need planting out. No space. Last thing we're going to do this week is pull up some of the onions. We've got some really big onions like this one, and then there's some smaller ones sort of down here which I think need a little bit longer in the ground to grow. So we're going to be tackling these big ones, and that's a good size onion. Yeah, take them both out then. Nice. Some of them end up very flat. It's always really satisfying doing a little bit of harvesting. Now the bottom raised bed is looking a little bit clearer. Top raised bed is looking absolutely rammed because, well, we didn't clear much out and we put more stuff in. It's pretty exciting. Well, hopefully some of the rest of these onions will grow to this kind of size and we'll get a much better harvest there. Like and subscribe, and you might even find out how to plant onions together once I've figured it out myself.